are you?
Who am I? Well, alright, my name is Brandon. I'm fucking born in Miami. 20 years old right now. And yeah, I'm a fucking rapper, I guess. I make music.
What kind of music you make?
I make like, I don't know what you would want to call it necessarily. It's hard to put it into a genre because when it comes to my inspirations, I get like a lot of inspiration from a lot of different types of music. So I tend to create different types of music. I fucking rap, I can scream and shit like metal, I can do like punk shit, I can kind of sing a little bit, I'm working on that too. And so I can really do a lot of different things, I don't know, I just call it like alternative, I guess. Alternative.
Shit. What was your like introduction to music? How did you start doing that?
Introduction to music and like, you mean like creating music?
Yes.
Well, that's definitely... My introduction to music was my boy Fukkit, you know. That's my bro since like middle school and shit. So when I was like in middle school and shit, me and him met and he put me onto like Slipknot and he was listening to like Chevelle and shit like that. We were in middle school, we were like fucking 12, 12, 13 and shit. So we were like crazy, but whatever. So he put me onto that. Then eventually he put me onto underground rap through Tyler the Creator. First shit I heard was Yonkers, and I saw the video of him eating the roach and shit.
Yeah.
And that was like the underground when I was in like middle school and shit.
Yeah.
So he introduced me to that, and that was how I got introduced to SoundCloud. Well, not necessarily SoundCloud, but first the underground like world of hip hop that I didn't know about. Like
possibility of
name some of the artists
music.
when you say like underground. Like, what were you listening to at the time?
Well, let me see. At that time, it was really, really like the beginning of like the big wave, like Raider Clan, obviously, like Raider Clan.
Is he from Miami?
Yeah, like ASAP was fucking going on and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Raider Clan is a fucking big inspiration for sure, man. Like they're just the OGs and shit. Like I talk about that a lot. Like niggas like Young Simi, Xavier Wolf, obviously like Space Ghost Perp and shit. Like these are fucking legends forever, bro. And they started a lot of what this shit is today. And I'm not the biggest fan of Perp or any of these niggas. Like I don't really give a fuck about that, but that's just what it is. Like that's the fact of the matter, and you know you gotta address it.
It is true. Yep.
So what kind of music did you listen to like back then? Or let's say before you were introduced to like the underground world, what did you listen to?
Before the underground and shit, I was just listening to weird shit sometimes. Like I was
radio shit.
Yeah, I was still listening to radio shit, I guess, from time to time, and like I was into like there was a fucking phase in my life where I went through like folk music and shit, and like I've been listening to fucking like my dad put me onto like System of a Down, Tupac. He put me onto like a lot of good artists. He put me onto like Calle 13, which is like some fucking Puerto Rican rapper. He put me onto like a lot of the shit that kind of spread me out. Like he had a pretty diverse, I guess.
Introduced you to like a lot of different new things.
Yeah, so when I first got introduced to music, I got introduced to a lot of different things, and it wasn't like radio pop shit. It was like shit that he liked, and it was like real music. But yeah, like what was the question again?
No, that's basically it. Music back then. So then you ended up linking with this kid who introduced you to like a whole new side of like music and stuff.
Yeah.
And then what did you start listening to from then on? Like what were you guys into? You told me like Slipknot stuff, but let's say more like local Miami stuff.
Yeah, in the underground, it was like Puya, Denzel Curry.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
Denzel Curry, bro, when he dropped into N64,
like
bro. N64 was fucking crazy when I was a kid, bro.
Good, bro.
Like I remember when I heard that, I think it dropped like 2 days earlier or some shit. That was like the craziest shit ever, bro. And like it was gritty, bro. That was underground music, and like shit like
that shit was tight, dude. N64,
like, bro,
that shit is still like
that shit was crazy. And I was listening to that, listening to like Young Simi. I was listening to Xavier Wolf, who was just fucking ending being like Ethel Wolf. So that nigga was like going through some metamorphosis shit, and it was crazy through the music. And on top of that, listening to Bones and fucking Team Sesh, like that's a huge inspiration. Obviously, like when it comes to being underground, real ass, like doing shit from scratch and not taking shit from anybody and really being independent artists, bro.
Word.
Like they really did that shit, and they paved the way. Like
they
made it possible. They showed people that like you can be at this level. You could be Team Sesh and have that level of success just by yourself, just by doing it on your own. And like niggas blow up every fucking day. That's not what I'm worried about, bro. Like I'm trying to keep this shit forever. Like if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
It's true. Yep.
That's so true. Yeah. All right. So how old are you?
I am 20 years old.
You said you're from Miami. What part of Miami?
I live in Miami Lakes.
Miami Lakes.
Yeah, I just live there in a little town in Miami, but I get around and shit.
Is that where you're like originally from? Like you were born there, raised?
Yeah, I was born like in the North Miami area, but I've lived in that same area for a long time, like around Hialeah and shit. Yeah, mainly around Hialeah. Like Miami Lakes and Hialeah are pretty close.
So following your introduction to the underground world, we could say, how long was it before you started making music, like yourself? And then since then, how long has it been that you've been making music?
All right. Well, like I said, when I met Alex, that's fukkit. Like it was he was the one who wanted to be a rapper for a while. He started making music, and then we ended up meeting Sabino, who had like studio stuff and like a mic, and he wanted to do similar shit. And that's how we all met. That's like people don't really know this, but like in real life, me, fukkit, Sabino, we're like real life best friends like all the time. So it's like those are my niggas. We're just always chilling and shit. So that's the real shit right there. When it comes to in-house shit, that's just we do everything that we do as a whole. Like we're the artists and we recorded our little studio and that's it. So when he started like getting into rapping and shit, we met Sabino. We started getting the shit going, and after a while, like I was exposed to it for a while, and this dude was always recording in front of me. It was always like fun. Yeah. We would just smoke and get high as fuck and just freestyle and shit. So like after a while, we were like, yeah, let's start recording shit.
Start writing and start doing shit.
Yeah, by then he was already making music, but after a while, like I would do features for him and shit. I would just get on the track, and I was just like, my name was Brando. I just didn't. Yeah. I was just myself. I've never really like.
Branded
pulled. Yeah, like, thinking of a name for myself, I feel like it's some corny shit. Like I am who I am, and that's it. Like, yeah. I'll take the N away. I'm Brando. There you go. Like that's as special as it gets. But yeah, we started doing shit. I did features like from time to time, and over the course of like 2 years, probably, I made like 4 tracks with him that I was just like I had a feature on, I had a verse on. But at that time, that was just like I said, it was just for fun and shit. It was just bullshit. It wasn't something that I was invested into or like really creating with. I was just doing it for fun, and like if this dude needed a feature, I'd just whip up some stupid shit and throw it on a mic. And that's what I did for a while, just because I didn't care. I wasn't trying to be a rapper or anything like that.
Mm. So this was just 2 years ago?
Yeah, so that was over the course of 2 years. I didn't start really taking music seriously until we had a show in Jacksonville a couple months ago.
Really?
And that shit was fucking crazy. Like, when we performed and shit, it was lit, you know, whatever. It was just a show and shit. There's fucking people hanging from the ceilings. It was going crazy. Like, the energy was insane. But...
That makes sense, because I feel like when I had originally met you, it was like, you weren't really like...
Yeah, I was focused on other shit.
You weren't really like... in like the right like direction, or you didn't really know what you were doing like musically. I feel like
yeah, exactly.
When I first met you, and now you definitely have like a presented aesthetic at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is. Like after that show and shit, I really felt inspired to just like own this shit and like just decide to just commit to being an artist or whatever, and like making music and shit. And that all started. We made Geronimo. I think like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that shit blew up, and like. That's where Bad Luck came from. Bad Luck was like an idea that I had after making Geronimo, and I just decided to really take this sound that I've had in my fucking head for like 3 years and just finally do something with it, and then I ended up producing this project and blah blah blah. So
super tight.
So you're playing right now, that's your latest project?
Yeah.
Is it your only project?
Yeah, it's my debut project. I only had like 4 songs on my fucking SoundCloud, like of my own. I don't even have a whole lot of music. Like this is really my debut work.
Got you. That's super sick.
And like I said, everything else before Bad Luck and like some of this shit that I've done recently is like all that other shit is just really irrelevant to who I am right now as an artist, because now is when I'm really trying to execute my like creative ideas, because I've never done that before. I've never really decided to do that. I don't know. I kind of just held myself back from it, I guess. And I've been focused on other things, but I never decided to do this. So now is when I'm really just deciding to do this shit seriously.
That's sick. Juice it out. They say, well, I mean, they say that like real creatives only have like a 10-year period of like real creativeness.
Yeah.
And like I think it kind of works like a rolling ball. You know, you just kind of start thinking creative stuff, and then it just kind of starts doing itself. You know what I mean? Start thinking up its own shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And it just takes time to develop your sound. Like, I'm lucky because I have fukkit and shit. Like, that's my bro, and I happen to be best friends with one of the most fire rappers out right now. So like, I've been exposed to it for a while and shit, and like, over time, I've had enough time to at least think about sounds and think about things.
Yep, that makes
so when
sense.
I decided to finally commit to it and shit, like, in reality, I've only been recording music and really making music consistently and like actually getting involved with it for like 4 months, bro.
Yeah.
4 months. Bad Luck
That's
is
crazy.
4 months, couple months. That shit
That's crazy.
is stuff that I never thought I could do
So-
before, and I
so-
just made a fucking project.
That's
like,
tight. So before we dive into the project and talk about Bad Luck, let's talk about like a little bit about like yourself. So, or let's finish off with the music. So, what did you used to listen to? I mean, we already talked about that. We already listened. So let's talk about like your inspirations. Like who are your like main inspirations? Like musicians and stuff like that. Like
well, for me to talk about that, first I want you to understand that like the way that I take inspiration, like I don't just take inspiration from like vocalists or this or that. Like I take inspiration into the way that I create. Like it inspires me to create in a certain way and to do things a different way, like to think differently type shit. So with that being said, I'm inspired by a lot of different people. Some of them are artists, some of them are not. Like when it comes to artists, though, I'll just answer the fucking question. It's like I'm inspired by Slipknot. A lot of people say Slipknot nowadays because it's like fucking cool to say that or some shit. I don't even know what it is. Like I guess Slipknot now is at a legendary level or whatever. But Slipknot, I've been listening to Slipknot since I met fucking Alex, and like I was a little kid. We were moshing in our fucking bathroom with our friends and shit, dude. And I had like fucking black kids with us, moshing with us, and we were all just fucking getting lit, doing stupid shit all the time. And we would jump each other in the bathroom for fun. We'd talk about it at like fucking the lunch table, and trick each other into thinking that we were gonna save somebody, but then you'd get your ass kicked. So like that type of energy, that kind of crazy shit inspires like a lot of the stuff that I do. It's like in that kind of energy, that kind of mentality where it's just like, it's fucking like uncut, it's youthful, you have fucking energy, and it's just raw, like just raw energy. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's like motivating.
Yeah, so there's like Slipknot, Tool, fucking I love it's just Bones is a big inspiration. Bones is one of the biggest inspirations when it comes to like what I thought you could do with music, because an artist like Bones who does like, he'll do like a fucking commercial song and then he'll be screaming and then be rapping like the fucking pimp that he is, or like doing some weird shit. Like he does a lot of different things and it all works. So I feel like I can do anything, and that's why I do shit like Suicide Party, but then I also have shit like Colors where I'm rapping, but then I have shit like fucking, you know, Self-Hate or some shit that's heavy as fuck.
Yeah, no, one of the biggest things I like in art is definitely diversity and evolution, being able to, you know, not have to hear the same album 6 times over, being able to hear some type of growth in the music, like maybe your tastes changed up, maybe you've been listening to new music and it kind of hears and like reflects in your own music and stuff like that, so.
I think when it comes to my biggest inspirations, though, let me think about it, like when it comes to my real biggest, like I would say like people like Tyler, the Creator, people like Kanye West, people like fucking, dude, I don't even know, there's like a lot of people, but there's like a lot of really big.
whatever. To add to that, to like musical inspirations, what did you listen to like growing up, like around your parents? Would say like what did they play like around the house or like in the car or whatever?
Well, my mom was never really too into music, or she wouldn't play music too much. Like she was more of like, she's like a businesswoman type of person and shit. And she's kind of serious about stuff like that. But I don't know, my dad though was the one who, like I said, put me onto more music. So I heard more shit about my dad. I like I said, my dad would play like Calle 13, he would play fucking Slipknot. I mean, not Slipknot, I'm sorry. System of a Down. System of a Down is another one of my biggest inspirations too. I love System of a Down. He would play, you know, like Belle Biv DeVoe and shit, like that Poison song. I don't even know if you're familiar with that, but
No.
Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison, you guys are gonna know that, look it up. He would play fucking, like I said, Tupac, you know, old fucking 70s, like Spanish music, 80s music, like a lot of different shit. He had a pretty diverse sense of music, I guess, so that was a lot of the shit.
What do
that I
they think
grew up
about your music? Do they support you? They talk about it? They know like you're chasing this?
Well, my mom knows and my dad knows. They both know. My mom loves my fucking music. My dad, I haven't even showed her much. So yeah, but she loves it. Because my mom's a cool person. Like she's one of the most important people in my life too. So she's just really open minded. She's a great person. So this like I don't have to worry about that kind of shit. Like where people have to show their fucking.
That's
moms
awesome.
And, yeah. So, yeah. My dad, yeah, he doesn't know too much about the music. I haven't shown him too much yet.
So you've never done a show, right? Like you never been on stage or performed?
No, definitely, yeah, we
perform.
performed.
Talking about that.
That's the thing. I have like a presence in like South Florida and shit like that before the music. Like people, that's the reason why people know about me, because of like just who I am and my energy and shit like that. I've been like to shows. People know me because I mosh hard as fuck too. Like from like here to Tampa, people know who I am. It's weird. I'd be in Tampa and some guy would know me from like a show in Miami. He's like, dude, you're that guy with that shirt that you were fucking blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah, sometimes you be seeing the same people.
yeah. So
It's like.
just because of that and being affiliated with the people that I've been affiliated with so long, like I've been involved in the music scene for a long time, and I've been involved with people who are like blowing up now, dude. Like plenty of people, and I've seen it happen multiple times, and like that's not what I'm interested in. I'm not trying to blow up quick as fuck, and I don't give a shit if you do, and like that's not something. I'm not a dick rider. People dick ride. People like sell their fucking values away just to like have some success on some niggas' back and shit, and that's not what I'm about. So that's not what we're about at all. Like we're really trying to make this shit happen from the inside out on some real independent, like organic shit.
That's sick.
And yeah.
Where do you record?
Wait, so has your mom or dad ever been to a show? No.
Because we never really had, like, we've performed in DC, we've performed in Jacksonville. Yeah. We're just kind of done with Miami. Miami has a really shitty ass crowd and shit. And
y'all should come out here next time.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say that. I really like the music. Like, I think it'd be fucking lit at a show.
Dude, that should be crazy.
And no disrespect to fucking Miami, because I love Miami, man. But it's unfortunate. You go to shows and you see, like, the most raw artists or, like, the most raw underground artists or whatever. Niggas just, like, will stare at you, bro. Yeah. They won't move. They won't do shit. And it's like, what the fuck are we performing for? Like, what's the point of this show?
Bro.
You can't.
Dude, I've seen some bad things.
Yeah, it's weird. So, like, that's why I like going to punk shows. Like, I like going to hardcore shows because the energy is always real. It's always dope shit. Like, people go to concerts just to look fucking cool or some shit and get seen in the new shoes or some gay shit like that.
I seen a man perform in front of legit like 3 people, bro. That's trying to cut the crowd. I'm like, bro, like, what is this? Like,
yeah, dude.
Bro, I'm like, I wouldn't even have performed. Like,
we performed in Jacksonville twice. Those were fucking awesome shows. We performed in DC. That shit was fucking retarded. And now we're about to go hit LA. And I know the LA crowd is lit, bro. Like, LA, I've heard a lot of good shit about LA. And I know how, like, Team says through all the fucking warehouse shows. And, like, I know LA Underground is, like, alive. It's always been lit. I don't know I can say the same about Miami, but LA, we're coming.
So you got a lot of friends you work with, like a lot of local people you work with? I guess you kind of talked about that a lot. Fuck it, you know.
I wouldn't necessarily say local. Like, it's not local to me. I just work with people that, like, when I'm out doing things. That's one of the biggest things since I started getting into music and I was in the scene. I was always networking with people. So I was always meeting people. I was always vocal and I was always making myself known no matter where I was. Like, and I would do that through moshing. I would do that through whatever the fuck I had to do. And I would, like, if I met the right person, then I was able to talk to them and shit. So it's not local. It's just through all these relationships that I've built over this whole time that I've been doing whatever I've been doing. I, like, keep certain people close, and I keep certain people, like, on a professional level or on a real personal level. There's some people that I really fuck with, and they're, like, my brother, or I fuck with you and, like, blah, 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 you're in some other city, but, like, I really, really, really have, like, a good connection with you. Then, like, that's something that I really can. You can't find that too often.
Yeah.
Because, like I said earlier off the mic and shit, like, anybody can make a beat, bro. Anybody can make a fire beat. Anybody can fucking snap on a song. Anybody could do anything, bro. That's not really what's special. Like, the special thing is making the right connection with the right people and creating the fucking music. Like, you can link up with someone who's gonna really link up with your vision, or someone that you really fuck with, and you can see in them that they, like, know what they're doing, or they have a good sense of music, or it just matches up with what you see.
That's personal. Like,
you make that shit happen.
Every time you listen to Bad Luck, like, or every time if you even just hear a Bad Luck song, you're like, oh, that's Bad Luck.
Yeah, man.
Because that's that sound.
And, like, actually, yeah, Bad Luck is a lot like that. I have a lot of different production. I have a lot of different sounds, like, different engineers. Bad Luck went through a whole lot of shit to get made, so that's
This video is brought to you by UNDERVIEWS.
What are your, like, dream collabs?
probably, like, fuck, I'm sorry. Some, like, Team Sesh collab, Xavier Wolf collab. I love Death Grips, man. I cannot, like, Death Grips might be one of the big dream collabs because Death Grips isn't some of that shit. Do you guys know about Death Grips?
Of course, man. That's what I was gonna say, but it wouldn't roll off my tongue that I heard some Death Grips in the music.
Yeah, Death Grips. Definitely, like, you know, maybe bands and shit like that, because when it comes to the instrumental side of shit, like, you gotta go to, like, people who really know what they're doing when it comes to instruments. Like, I don't want to have some, like, synth made up shit. Like, if I work with one of those bands, it won't be necessarily for vocals, it'll be for, like, that kind of shit, like live instruments and shit. Outside of that,
Sebastian says he can't hear the difference between live instruments and, like, just regularly produced off the computer music.
You can?
Yeah.
Of course.
I feel like an instrument can be like mimicked with like.
I mean, I like it was made like amazing, but you could really hear like the whole entire thing as a whole. Like it's just different. It's just different. It flows a little different.
All right, so now that we talked about inspirations and collabs and stuff, let's talk about like mental inspirations. You take drugs?
That's so fucking straightforward, dude. Yes.
Nah, that blunt never happened.
What kind of drugs do you take?
Well, I mean, I smoke a lot of weed.
You don't have to incriminate yourself, man. He's just asking the question.
Yeah, no. I smoke a lot of weed, and I do some other things too. But yeah, I guess I won't get into it too much. But
Alright, so then let's talk
I'm
about.
gonna just say the psychedelics are awesome.
Let's talk about bad luck then. Bad luck. So what's bad luck? Why is it named bad luck?
Bad luck is like the fucking brainchild of Geronimo. I made Geronimo, and it just sparked the idea that I should do a project. Especially after that show, I felt like I should do something big right now to really like solidify this, and I decided to make a project. So that's what I did.
Wait, so Geronimo was that original song that like you made that was like considered your song, right? That
Yeah, but it
your
was
song.
on Fukkit's page. Fukkit uploaded it on his page, but it was called Geronimo. My name was on it, but I don't know. Some people get that mixed up sometimes
And
too.
it was like your idea, but you both had verses on it.
Yeah, on Geronimo.
So why the name?
For Bad
Bad
Luck.
luck, yeah.
Well, my whole life, pretty much, like literally, probably my whole life, I've like had like really severe depression and shit, and like dealing with like loneliness and shit like that, and just like a lot of fucking pain and shit that I kind of had to go through alone. So at that point, I was going through another fucking like really bad dip, and a lot of bad shit was happening, and I had just broken up with my like girlfriend and shit, or my ex, and a lot of shit was just really like just going on, and it was just bad. So
Bad
it kind of
luck.
made the whole thing, bad luck. I was like, just a theme. I've never really been too crazy about names, so I was just like, let me just find something that fits, and just that's it.
Bad luck.
And the stylizing, all the other shit, that'll come later.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's called bad
It's
luck.
Straight, embrace it.
So what came into creating
Fuck it, I
that
have
project?
bad luck.
Yeah.
What came into like creating that project? Like what was like?
Oh, one more
Alright,
thing
who are we
before.
meeting up with? Alright, go.
Yeah, one more thing before we move on. More about it really quick. That aside, like from the whole like inspiration of how I got started, Bad Luck was meant. I wanted to really take the hardcore sound that I've kind of had in my mind for a long time, and really do something with it and really apply it and show people
Make
like
it material, make it real.
yeah, make it real. I wanted to show people what the fuck it could do, like what it could sound like and shit. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just really go all out, make it mainly that, and add some other shit to it. So.
So what went into the process of creating Bad Luck? Like, what would you do? Who would you meet up with to record it? What would you do before writing? You know, like, what was your, I don't know, your ritual per se to...
Honestly, recording was one of the hardest parts because like I work a fucking job and shit. Like I work like all week, but now things have changed for me because I have a whole other fucking thing going on. But yeah, before when it came to Bad Luck, I didn't really have a whole lot of time. But we had to work with our boy Sabino, who at his house is where we have the studio. He has an empty room where he has the whole entire studio basically set up, and like it's not even that serious. Like we don't even have padding on the wall or anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Like it's just we have a mic and shit, and we have the fucking computer, and we just make it work, and we just record there, and everything else
good.
comes from engineering. We know how to engineer our shit really, really good.
So he's a beat maker and an engineer?
He's learning how to make beats, but he's just been like the engineering shit for us for a while. He's not really engineering, honestly. He's just the guy who has the studio. It's his studio, pretty much his crib. We just
I
go
mean,
over
but he
there.
kind of use it kind of like, you know, how does he fix that at all? Like, he, not really, it's just...
Ever since I started making my own music, I've got, like, when I made my other music, bro, like, the shit that I say from the past, I wasn't even, like, a part of making that. Like, I would just sit there and record, and, like, I had fucking do everything for me. Like, I never knew how to, you know, create different channels or create, like, fucking different, whatever, effects. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know about changing the volumes. I didn't know about having presets on your voice, like, when you're doing shit. Like,
I feel you.
I didn't know about that, so I only started doing that, like, probably like 4 months ago. And that's all the experience I have with that. Everything that I know now, I learned how to mix, learned how to master, and I learned how to record all by
that's
myself
tight.
in 4 months.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you mastered a little bit, you kind of like...
Yeah, I mixed and mastered like 4 of the songs on there, like fucking Fuck Shit was done by me. Hooks and Nails was done by me. Genocide was done by me, but that was disgusting. I don't even like that song. And a couple other ones, but whatever. Most of it was done by other people that I really fuck with. So.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
So like Heel, for example, send the beat to you, and then you're at your boy Sabino studio, or you're at your crib, like editing it.
I get beats randomly, like I'll just get beats when I'm out, whatever. I just get a fucking email on my phone and I check it out. So like a lot of times, like recently, my speakers in my room broke and I just haven't gotten around to buying them because I've been doing a lot of shit.
Sucks.
Yeah, so I don't even have a way of really listening to shit. I just kind of have to like either listen to earbuds or have like a little speaker with me or some shit. Fuck, dude, I'm so high. Ask me that one more time, dude.
So like when you like, for example, he'll send the beat, right?
Oh, yeah.
And like, so you'll wait till you get home, or you
So,
have,
yeah,
or you have to
yeah.
go to your boy Sabino's house to get like the equipment and like all this stuff to tweak it right, or.
I wouldn't be able to record until I get to Sabino's house. Normally that would be like on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Monday. It would be once a week. We only had one chance to record every week for maybe like 3 hours. Something like that, a couple hours, because that's just what he would fucking give to us pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would usually write shit by myself. Like whenever, for me in the past, I've kind of really had a lot of mental blocks. Like I had really horrible mental blocks, bro. I couldn't get through a lot of shit, and a lot of times I couldn't fucking make music. There was a point where I didn't make music for like a whole year because I couldn't. Like between like Miley and like Geronimo, I think that it's just a whole period of time where I didn't make anything. It's because I didn't feel like I could make music and I never did it. So now things are different. Now I can sit down and just make anything. But a couple weeks ago, like literally all this time that I've been making Geronimo, I would just have to wait until I feel a moment of like inspiration and try my hardest to fucking catch it down or figure it out and
now
write
it
it
rolls
all
off
out
the
before I
tongue.
lose it.
Now it like rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, because or else I can't even write a verse. Like I literally can't write a verse. It's fucked up. But now I'm past that shit. It's weird. Like this past week when I made fuck shit,
You
like
feel like the progression in your ability to like produce the content.
yeah, like I'm just thinking really clearly. It's really weird.
That's
I did a lot of
that's
shit
what
this
I was
past
talking
week.
about
So.
earlier, like you get that creative ball rolling and just kind of.
Yeah, kind of what happens to everyone. I mean, once you got something going, it goes better.
Yeah, I've had some breakthroughs and shit in the past
As long
week.
as you keep going at it, like.
Yeah, well,
Not even with the music, but just like with life and shit. So I'm just like on some next level shit right now.
that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, we talked about everything that we had written down. Is there anything you'd like to say to your friends, followers?
Well, what's next? I want to know what's next. Like, what's next for you guys? What's the plan? Like, what's like. You guys got any creative ideas? You were talking earlier about like scary movie and shit, and like, you know, what's the next project, or is there collabs, or are you just gonna drop singles, play around with it? Like, you guys have a set plan, or is it just kind of like we'll see what's next?
I mean, we don't have a set long-term plan necessarily. At the beginning of this year, me and Fukkit kind of made a pact. And we decided that we were gonna like both really just fucking smash on the music shit for all of 2017. And since we decided to do that, he has fucking got done Is His Beauty, dropped that shit, as well as a shit ton of fucking bangers on the
I'm
side.
gonna show him that because he probably doesn't hear that.
And then on top of that, I've been making my music, which I've never done before in this way. I've done it now.
So you guys got a whole team floating.
Yeah, we did that whole shit. It took time. Sabino's been making his music. So this whole year, we've just really been just going hard on making music and shit like that. We performed in Jacksonville, smashed that shit, and now we're about to go to LA in a week. We're gonna perform in Midnight Society with Kamiata, Zodiac, fucking Slight, all these other people. I honestly don't know anybody.
That's tight. I seen some other day on Twitter, these dudes were hating or whatever.
But like, yeah, like right now we're just going like step by step, but we just have plans to progress with the music mainly, and like I'm the one that kind of makes like a lot of like this type of shit happen. Like Fukkit is just heavy on
the
Corey
music
all the time, bro. Like that nigga is an artist, bro. Like he's an asshole and shit, but that's
what
'cause
you
he doesn't
need,
give
though.
a
That's
fuck
what
about
you
shit.
need.
He's making art, bro.
Because you could be making good music, you could be making crazy stuff, but if you don't have like a effective team to put it out, you know what I mean? What are you doing?
Exactly. So I'm trying to do more of that. I'm trying to really get like, cause that's how it is, bro. We work as a team, like for real. So, you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, and I'm pretty sure he would have been in a completely different position if it wasn't for me and Sabino, especially Sabino, because he's the one who provides the recording studio. So we all do everything together. Like it's literally impossible without the three of us. So, so we're just doing that shit, man. Right now, like I think we have like yearly plans, and we've been executing this plan, which is just to fuck up the whole year. So, and we're doing these shows in the meantime. So, right now we're just trying to really. Well, Alex he already hit like 10K. He's like at 11K or some shit like that. I don't know where he's at right now, but he makes hella shit. This nigga just hit 3 million plays like yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. That's lit. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
like
insane.
right now, I don't even have that
That's
many
crazy.
followers, bro. On SoundCloud, you know, I just hit like 500 followers because I dropped Bad Luck and everything's blowing up right now. Like I had like 4 songs, and my songs get like hella plays. I don't even understand how it happens, but like somehow it happens, and I guess that's also because of fuck it, right? So, you know, we just got our own shit set up. We're building our own bass. We're building our own floorboards,
tight.
like, and that's what we've been doing.
That's
And
crazy,
honestly,
bro. On
that's what this
SoundCloud, you
is.
could be making fans that you'll never see like on any other platform. You know what I mean? They're just like there. They just listen and like never like
Yeah,
interact.
dude.
They're just listening. Like
Yeah, it's weird,
that
bro.
shit's
Like that's
crazy.
how it is on Twitter. Because on Twitter you don't see too much interaction like until you start really popping. But on SoundCloud there's hella plays, like millions. Like who the fuck are these millions of people, bro?
Yeah,
what the
like-
fuck is going
It's
on?
random.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's tight.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
there's
it's
that.
like it's like you have the real like music like. The real attraction to your art before the attraction to like the persona. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
yeah.
Before, like,
and it's
the-
trippy because
that's
Miami
crazy.
is
It's
dead.
not common.
Miami is dead disrespectful when it comes to fucking showing love to people, bro. Miami is so cold, it's disgusting. Like, bro, when you go out to other places, bro, I go to fucking Jacksonville, some random fucking like nerds will come up to me happy as fuck and like, it's lit because I love talking to people. Like,
Bro,
that's the
everyone in
thing, I
Miami
talk
be
to
like
everybody.
cocky,
I
bro.
love
Everyone in
people,
Miami is
bro.
like cocky, bro. Everyone's like, everyone swears they're like
Yo,
the
they're
hardest,
hassle,
bro.
bro.
They're like,
They're dickheads.
everyone
Yeah,
thinks
I'll be
they're, like,
just chilling. I remember in Jacksonville, I was chilling by the bar after like we fucking finished the show, and I'm just like tired as fuck with my shirt off, like still like getting out of my zone and shit. Like I was just really like still on some shit, and I was just like some guy that I could feel his like fucking presence there, and he was just like looking to the side. He kept like looking at me, and I just noticed him looking at me, and I walked up to him like, "What's up?" He's like, "Yo, are you Brando?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Yo, you snapped in there, bro. Blah blah blah. That shit was so crazy, bro. I'm a hardcore fan. I like this shit, and that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Blah blah blah." And he was just like looking at me, and I'm not used to that yet, so it's like it's really funny, bro. It's
That's
trippy.
super tight, bro.
I'm just doing this shit because I love living life, bro. And like this is what I could do if I could take like music and art and shit and take that and let it push me into the future with fucking like money and shit and enjoying life and being able to travel with it. Like that's as good as it gets, bro. I'm on that team set shit. That's what they do. I'm gonna do the
That
same
shit was
shit.
tight. Same thing happened to me, bro. When I threw my show, I'm sure you saw like the footage stuff. I think we talked about it, like bringing fuck it out here and stuff, right? Was
Yeah,
that,
man.
I think that was you.
Gio,
Yeah.
no, you talked to Gio
Oh,
about it. You
Gio, I
told
guess
me
I
about
did
it,
Gio.
bro.
There you
I
go.
needed to
You're
talk
right.
to you about that.
Alright, well, whatever, but whatever. We talked about that, and at my show, you know, there was obviously a lot of people there like I'd never like seen or talked to in my life. You know what I mean? And it was like at the point where we were like shutting down the show, and it was just like me and like a couple of performers and stuff. And there was like some kids there that were just like some random kids that like we don't know, and they were like super happy to be like hanging out with us. Like they were like taking
Yeah.
pictures and shit, thinking we were like hot shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I just thought it was so funny, but that's how it be. You know what I mean? So and I'm not even an artist. You know what I mean? So when you're an artist putting out art, you know what I mean? That's obviously at a whole nother level.
Yeah, man. It's really cool, especially when I'm putting like someone like me. Like, there's people who do this art shit just like for it to be like a means to an end because they want to be fucking famous or they want to have money or whatever the case is. And like, the music that I make is really like genuine. I don't like putting out fake music. Like, I hate it, dude. I can't do it. That's why when I do drop something that wasn't like really like real for me, I'm literally vocal about that shit. And people look at me funny when I'm like, I hate this song, but I really don't fuck with like songs like, and I'm not even gonna start saying it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna do that to myself. But there's some songs I just don't like, cause it's not like
Straight, man. Be
the
critical
real
of your
shit.
work. Yeah, that's okay. It's absolutely okay, man. It's one of the biggest things that Kanye gets a lot of like praise for. 'Cause he's so fucking critical, and like he'll make you do it like 10 times over till it's perfect.
And as a real artist, as a real creative artist, like that's something I really create. When you're asking me about my inspirations, it's hard to pinpoint like one exact inspiration or like make it like it's such a broad question for me because I listen to so much shit. What really inspires me is creation. I like when people make new shit. Like that's why I don't really care who you are or if you're cool or if you're not or whatever the fucking case is. I don't care about that shit. I just care about like authenticity. I like seeing shit
Same
that's
here.
new. I like seeing shit that inspires me. Like if I see some new shit,
Shit looks like original.
yeah, I'm like, this is dope. Like, this is new shit that has never existed. And, like, I like building around that because it's always fresh, it's always new, and it's going to sound completely fucking new and crazy. Like, I think that's the best way to build on top of the fact that you have real relationships with people, like, et cetera, et cetera. But that's what really inspires me, man. Like, real shit like that. That's all. That's what I live for.
Sweet.
So we got 5 minutes on the camera, so
Wrap it up, then.
wrap it up, gang.
So what's left? I don't know. What else can we say real quick before we get off this
I don't know,
shit?
what do you gotta say to anyone or do shout outs? We got a shout out, bro.
Shout out to my nigga Fukkit. Shout out to fucking Sabino, obviously.
He's in the Periscope.
He's in the Periscope. Yeah.
Who's in the Periscope?
Hey, shout out to this nigga right here, Julian Hernandez.
What's up, Sabino?
Fire ass fucking visual artist. Not even visual artist, he's an artist of all kinds.
J.H. Wall art, nigga.
Do that.
But nah, shout out to fucking Midnight Society. Shout out to fucking Crow Life. Shout out to Zodiac. Shout out to fucking Kamiyata and Bambi. They're giving me an opportunity in LA. That's the reason I'm going out there. So fucking fuck with them because they're dope people. And when it comes to more shout outs, I don't know, man. I don't have, like I said, there's not a whole lot of people that I really, really appreciate because not too many people are really real. But those are the real ones, man. Shout out to Miklo, bro. Elder out in fucking... Where's he at right now? Portland. But, I don't know. Who else?
That's it then. Wrap it up then. That's it then.
I guess that's it, man. If I miss you, man, don't worry about it because I still love you.
You on timer?
Yo, some guy kept telling you to do a backflip.
A backflip?
Yeah, he kept saying, tell Brandon to do a flip. That's what he kept saying.
Go off the table.
Off the table. I'm gonna break my neck, bro. I'm not gonna do that.
Nah, this is the part where you gotta spit like a freestyle. We're gonna throw up a beat and you gotta spit like a freestyle on the
Oh my god.
like some fucking sway shit right now.
Suicide party tonight. It's a full moon out tonight. Put your hands like you might die. Sweat the pain away.